Greetings, this is Mrs. Blaylock. We are going to go over simplifying complex fractions. This is part D on your set of worksheets. The first example I'm going to go over looks very complicated, taking a first look at it. When you see something like this, take note of the fraction bars. So I see 3 of them. There is a main fraction bar in the middle, or a division bar, and so I've got a fraction in the numerator and I've got a fraction in the denominator. So in order to deal with a complex fraction means a fraction over a fraction, the first thing that you're going to do is try to, if you can, rewrite it with a reciprocal. And what that means is if I have a numerator divided by a numerator that's a fraction divided by a denominator that's a fraction, when I do division in fractions, it's the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. So you can rewrite this as x squared plus 7x plus 12 over x squared plus 3x. Instead of divided by and a big complex fraction, I can rewrite it as multiply, and now I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. So I take the denominator here, and now that's my numerator, and my numerator down here, and it's my denominator. So I've rewritten this complex fraction. So long as it's just one fraction over one fraction, I can rewrite it with multiplication, and I'm multiplying by the reciprocal. The next step is to simplify, and so I'm looking to factor or take out a greatest common factor. So on the numerator of this first part, it's a quadratic. So what I'm going to do is see if I can factor the quadratic. So it's an x squared is my leading term. There's no leading coefficient. I don't have to split the middle term. So I can set it up with 2 groups of x in front. I'm looking for the factors of 12, what multiplies to 12 and adds or subtracts to 7. So I have a positive and a positive sign. So I know in my factors both signs will be positive. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 plus 4 is 7. So that's how I would factor this numerator. Then I'm going to take out the greatest common factor in the denominator, which is x, which leaves me x plus 3. And on the other side, I have x squared over, this is a difference of squares, so I can rewrite that as x minus 4, x plus 4. The next step is to reduce. So I have an x here that can cross out with the x squared. I'm left with an x over there. I've got an x plus 3 in the numerator and an x plus 3 in the denominator. Those reduce. I've got an x plus 4 in this numerator and an x plus 4 in that denominator. What I'm left with is x over x minus 4. So if you needed to, you could multiply further. So this would be a 1 times x, and this is a 1 times x minus 4, which gives me x over x minus 4. So I cannot reduce that any further. That is my final answer. This should help you get started on part D, and if needed, I can record and post another tutorial video. Good luck.